Shalom, all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Quadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Quadash. Now, as you can see here, it's an image that I came across on social media, on the algorithm. And basically, it's a Restore England page. And as you can see at the top, they've got these like, that psyop music, man, because they blame Jake for all the problems in society, immigration and blacks and as them devils say, blacks and in England it's like blacks and East Indians and shit like that are the problem, and Arab immigration and stuff. And obviously you do have sprinkles of Latinos as well. You got to throw them in there in England as well. Basically any ethnic people. But as you can see, you got at the top image on the image, it's like a bunch of Jakes and the UK is burning. And at the bottom, you've got like the British World War II soldiers, which, we can even go into that anyway, because a lot of millions of the soldiers that died in World War II, were also people from the Commonwealth. So there were people from the Caribbean islands, people from West Africa, men from the Caribbean, men from West Africa, men from India, etc. during World War II. But, they never really talk about that. Whenever you think of World War II and Britain, they just portray the white soldiers that died. There was many soldiers that died from the Commonwealth, man. Millions, in fact. But anyway, the point is, you can see here, Restore England. It says, one image speaks 1,000 words. Britain is facing an unprecedented invasion without a shot being fired. If we are to reclaim our country, force may ultimately prove necessary. We have been overrun by mass immigration on a scale our ancestors will never have tolerated. The time will come when the call goes out. We will rally. To the police and the British Army, you face a stark choice. Stand with your own people and help restore order and protect our identity to the nation that pays your wages, or side against us and hand Britain over to the foreign civilization. History will judge that decision harshly. Look, basically the Edomites, they have this reform party at the moment and they're getting excited, man. They basically, these lower level peasants, they're being controlled by the wicked elites, as we know. And first of all, the armies and the police are controlled by the wicked elites. They're not fighting for the interests of so-called white people, man. Okay? They're fighting for the interests of the bankers. That's what the army does. That's what the police do. All right? The police and the army are basically part of the Masonic order, especially the police and the army. But the police, you got to be a 33-degree Mason even just to join. You got to basically take the first steps of Masonry to join. All right? It's a Masonic institution run by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers industry, man. That's one part of their system is the police. Police men in uniform are not protecting the public. All right? They're protecting the interests of the bankers. So these lower level so-called white people, knuckle draggers, they basically want their country back, so to speak. And you know what? Immigration in this country, I was looking up statistics. It's not even, the country is predominantly a white country. All right? There is no mass immigration going on. But that's what they'll tell you. The more the media will show you images of people coming to the country, the more it rallies up these knuckle dragging, low life so-called white people. The typical neo-Nazi racist type of Edomite. They want to rally together, basically. So it's basically race wars and hatred is brewing, all right? One people joining to fight with another people is brewing. And it's all biblical. It's all biblical and all in the Bible what's taking place, all right? It's all in the scriptures. One people standing up to fight another people, etc. All right? It's all in the Bible. It's all written in the word, okay? And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right? But all these things here, basically all these ethnic people in America, in the UK, in Europe, it's basically the chickens coming home to roost, because these countries were once colonized by Great Britain, were once colonized by America, were once colonized by Spain, were once colonized by the Edomites of Europe. All right? You rape, robbed and murdered their homeland, so-called homelands, and they come to the those people in the future, what they do is you always come to the home of your colonizer to make a living, to live basically, because your lands are destroyed. But you know, these lower level Edomites fail to ever acknowledge that. Like that never happened. Just go back to your country, etc. Well, how can I go back to a destabilized, destroyed country when your governments have destabilized and destroyed it, right? So this is nothing but a chicken's coming home to roost type of thing, man. Okay, so let me read this here. All right, this is Galatians 6 and 7. It says, "Be not deceived; the Lord is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." And that's what it is. So it says, "Be not deceived; the Lord is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So, you know, looking at the history, what has the so-called white man sown on the planet Earth? You know, he's sowing rape, he's sowing murder, he's sowing robbery, theft. All right, rape, robbery, murder. That's what the so-called white man's sown on Earth, man. All right. So be not deceived; the Lord is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Yeah. So the so-called white man, he's reaped destruction on the planet Earth, and that's what's going to come back upon him. What these so-called white people don't understand, it doesn't matter about how much reform parties, how much your racism brews, how much hatred you have, how much you want to kill Jake, you know, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and people that are non-white in general. It matters not, because your empire is going down. Your system is at its time of its decline. This is what it is. It's at its time of, not decline, time of its end, really. That's why these things are happening. Your empire has peaked and fell a long time ago. Now we're literally in the dregs of your empire, right? We're in the dregs of the so-called white man's empire. We're at the least, the end of it. We're at the last part of this devil's empire. Okay. All right. And all the wickedness you've done in the past that you've reaped is now coming back upon you. So that's what the Lord said here. Be not deceived. The Lord is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that he says, that shall he also reap. So you're going to reap what you've sown, Esau. Okay, it's going to come back on you. And your future, like we always bring it out, is captivity. All right. This is Numbers 35 and 33. Numbers 35 and 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." Yeah, so that's what it is. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. For example, let's use America as an example. America is a defiled land. America, Babylon the Great. How did you so-called white people get it? And in fact, the early settlers in America were from, where were they from? Britain, England. These same devils talking about reform, get the West Indians out of the country, get the Indians out of the country, get this out of the country. Basically get all these non-whites out of the country. Well, hold on, you went to the Americas and you pillaged and destroyed the Native American peoples over there. You stole their land, all right? You conspired to murder them and take their land, which is what you did. You polluted that land. Everywhere you Edomites dwell, you pollute the land, man. All right, Australia was Aboriginal land. Ethnic Japhet were over there. Japhet was over there. You know, and Japhet got their land stolen by the Australians, by the Australian Edomite. Where did they come from? Britain. So Britain's done a lot of damage on this planet Earth, man. And them Australian Edomites came from Britain and from the ones in New Zealand also. And you went over to those lands and you pillaged, raped, robbed and murdered those people and stole their land and oppressed them on their land that they were living on. All right? So now is the twilight of your society. So basically what you've done in the past is now coming upon you. So it tells you this here. "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." So Esau, you shed blood. Your blood must be shed. You've killed people. You've raped, robbed, murdered. The same is going to come upon you. All right? That's how you make the world even. And you know, see, the Messiah, the God of the Bible is with all of that. You know, the God of the scriptures, he's with you being enslaved. He's with you being paid back for your crimes, man. Okay? If your line goes back to the nation of Edom, then your future is captivity. Okay? So it said, it cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So you shed blood, Esau, on the planet Earth. Now your blood will be shed. All right, ain't no amount of racist parties you can raise up, no amount of racist politicians, reform parties, etc., etc. No one ain't saving you from your judgment, because these things have been preordained, man. All right, it's already written. What's like the world that we live in is the Heavenly Father's movie. So everything's been written already. Everything that's happened in the past, everything that's happening today, it was all already, foretold to come. So we can see, as the seers of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we see the writing on your wall for your system, Esau, and all we do is prophesy and teach about the end of your world, and that's what's taking place in front of our eyes, right? So all this racial tension and all these things raising up is pretty much prophetic. You know what I'm saying? We see it, it's happening, it's prophetic, it's prophecy playing out in front of us, okay? So that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So this is the future for you, Esau. So Habakkuk 2, I'll end it on this. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2, verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. This is talking about the so-called white man. Yea, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Yeah, so you transgresseth by wine. Wine is your philosophies, man. Part of your philosophies, Esau, is, you destroy people, you know what I'm saying? And then when they now seek for better life in your countries, in the countries you're ruling, right? Oh, get out of the country. That was the past, etc. That's part of their wine and philosophy, man. They'll enslave you, and then 100 years later tell you to forget about it. That's indoctrination, man. Forget about it, move on. It's the past. Or if you don't like it, get out of the country. That's what they like to say, right? But then where am I going to go? To the same countries that your governments are still corrupting. Come on, man. We're finding out you people are you're just the wicked, all right? And there ain't no reasoning with no Edomites, man. All right? So it says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Yeah, he don't keep at home. They said the sun never set on the British Empire. Why? Because they were all over the planet Earth causing havoc. Right? So it says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. Yeah, he's as hell and is as death. Yeah, because everywhere Esau goes, he brings death. Just ask any ethnic person, ask any Negro, Latino, Native American, every person in the planet, the Israelites, the other nations, everyone has a bone to pick with these devils, because somewhere in history, they fucked them over. All right? So it's the truth. So it says, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what they do. They the fact that all these ethnic people are in your countries, in America, in England, the elites knew all this would happen, because they understand how the world works. All right? And the elites like it when the ethnics come to America and they come to England. Why? Because they bring more of a workforce with them. They can be taxed. They can be used. All right? But the lower level common peasant Edomite that doesn't even have any understanding of what's really going on within their own system, they will now, it fuels the hatred against the blacks, Latinos, or whoever the ethnic minority is in that country. All right? And the elites like that because it causes the division, at the lower level of society. It's all one big matrix, man. Okay? But you see the scriptures and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we see the bigger picture. We see who's really in control, which is the Heavenly Father and His Son. And then we see the players within the movie. All right? We understand how the elites govern their system. We understand how they control their society, etc. All right? So it just tells you that. So it says it here, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what he does. He enslaves you, enslaves you, then, like America. Jake's been enslaved in America. The natives enslaved in America. And then all those people are over there. Then you got all the other nations over there. You got the Indians, the Chinese, all these people that have been messed up by Esau. He's heaped them unto himself. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which that thick clay represents debt. But also when it says, shall not all they take up a parable against him, basically, All the people you want screwed over are saying, well, for example, the Reform Party, their thing is get ethnics out of the country. But then those same ethnic people are saying, well, you fucked over our countries, so we have every right to be here. So it's like, you know, everyone's taking up that stance against Esau's BS, basically. You know what I'm saying? And while all this is taking place, we're seeing the genocide that's happening with the people in Gaza. That genocide is taking place. Okay? So the world's seeing the hypocrisy of the Edomites, and then America and the UK backs Israel. You know, they fund them and back them. So the world's witnessing all of this hypocrisy in one go, basically. You know, everyone's seeing it. Right? So shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Yeah, you increased that which ain't yours, Esau. Okay? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly, and shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness in his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from, it says, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Exactly. So, you know, that's self-explanatory. You spoil many nations, man. All right? You spoiled many nations, and basically now it's time for you to be spoiled. You spoiled the Israelites. It's the same thing. When Egypt fell, what did the Lord do? He let Israel spoil them Egyptians. We basically, before we left Egypt, we were taking shit off them. All right? Taking shit off the Egyptians. We spoiled them because they took that which weren't theirs to begin with. So it's the same thing with Esau. Before Esau's kingdom ends, when the nuclear missiles land, remember, you know, we're going to have the rest of the world to go around and enslave these Edomites. When we come off the ships, the New Jerusalem, when that's the hopeful elect coming off the ships with Yahushua and the angels and going to enslave the nations. Going to Australia, enslaving the Edomites there. And what we're going to do, we're going to take them down, put them in chains, and take their goods, basically. What they have, we're going to take it onto us. All right? So, yeah, man. You know, that's pretty much it. You reap what you sow, man. Okay? So, you know, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Shalom. Shalom.